Good evening. Good evening. All right, there we go. We are very happy to be here once again. I have had the pleasure of hosting this dinner for many years now, and it is a pleasure for me just to look out and see these sea of brothers and sisters who are here, but it is our night this evening. Oftentimes we are on the second page, so sisters, we love you, but it's our night this evening. I'm gonna see if we can get this hum out of here. All right. It's my pleasure to join Black Enterprise once again to celebrate the XCEL Summit for Men, now in its 9th year. Let's give some applause to that. We're here to celebrate the best of who we are, particularly this evening as we recognize the unparalleled leaders and history makers. And may I just take a point to say that we are in, I need not remind you, unparalleled times, and I would go as far to say dangerous times. And so as I look around this room, and you'll hear about this tomorrow when we do the town hall meeting, I'm oftentimes reminded of that scene in Spike Lee's movie, Malcolm X, when Malcolm was outside of the police station, and they looked out the window and they saw all them brothers just standing there, and Malcolm gave them the signal. It is time for us to line up as they did in that movie and make determinations about what we're going to do to solidify our community. And I think that this weekend can be a start. We hope to be solution-oriented. And tonight we're going to salute some of those men who've been on the front lines for some time, who have given solutions to our community. One of those men, and I wouldn't say it other than tonight because his head is big enough, is the CEO of Black Enterprise. You can see he's my boy, because otherwise I couldn't say that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Earl Butch Graves, Jr.
Thank you, Ed. Okay. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome all of you to the Black Enterprise XCEL Summit for Men and our 9th annual XCEL Awards Gala. Over the past decade, the XCEL Awards has become firmly established as an unparalleled celebration of excellence and leadership in corporate America, entrepreneurship, and beyond. While we are far too often defined by the trials, challenges, and obstacles we face, we at Black Enterprise will always focus on and celebrate the persistence, creativity, determination, diligence, genius, integrity, and faith we draw upon to overcome and succeed every day of our lives. We are indeed living in extraordinary times, and extraordinary times were made for extraordinary men like you. That's why we've recognized the likes of former Carnival CEO Arnold Donald, real estate mogul R. Donahue Peoples, NBA Hall of Famer Grant Hill, and the late Congressman John Lewis, just to name a few, will XCEL Awards over this past decade. And that is what tonight's XCEL Awards are about, and what our honorees represent. An undeniable, indomitable, and unconditional standard of excellence and leadership we would all do well to aspire to and strive for. Now, our gathering here is about more than merely being present. It is about making a statement and challenging ourselves and each other to step up. These extraordinary times require each of us, each and every one of us, to take extraordinary action and to deliver extraordinary results. Now, please allow me to also take a moment to pay tribute to FedEx, the host sponsor of the XCEL Summit since our inaugural event in 2017, and the host of this evening's XCEL Awards dinner and gala. FedEx's investment in the XCEL Summit is a continuation of a long-term valued and fruitful partnership. As an early and loyal advertiser in Black Enterprise magazine, and today, doing business with us across all of our digital and event platforms. Please direct your attention to the video screen.
We deliver more than packages. We deliver possibilities. We deliver connections. We deliver brighter tomorrows. And through FedEx Cares, we're making a difference. When the world needs us, we're ready to help. Delivering for good means providing hope when it's needed most. From transporting aid during disasters to helping animals in crisis, we step in with support and action using the power of our network and people. Every shipment we make carries more than supplies. It carries the message, you're not alone.
You know, everybody's working together, everybody's understanding, and just very appreciative. That's part of the reason why we do it, you know?
An idea is just a dream until someone believes in it. Empowering entrepreneurs means giving small business owners the resources, training, and opportunities they need to thrive. From mom and pop shops to startups changing the world, we stand behind the innovators, the dreamers, the doers, because their success is our success. The decisions we make today impact the health of our planet. That's why FedEx is committed to advancing climate solutions to build a more sustainable future. Through initiatives like Picture Proof of Planting, we encourage our team members to help restore nature, one tree at a time. And we support groundbreaking research by world-class scientists to deploy carbon removal technologies at scale. No one should have to struggle alone. Engaging people and communities means standing beside those in need, lifting them up, and opening doors to new opportunities. A coat, a meal, a mentor, a new job. We share our skills, lend our time, and show up for our neighbors. These aren't just acts of kindness, they're commitments to building stronger communities. With FedEx Cares, every delivery is a promise of hope, resilience, and a better tomorrow.
Please join me. Yes, give them a round of applause. Please join me in giving an enthusiastic welcome to Mr. Jason Campbell, Managing Director, Global Security Technology for FedEx. I guess he has his own theme music, who brings remarks on behalf of FedEx. Jason.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I've been here for every one of these, and let me just say that it is amazing to be in this place. Great food, great fellowship, great conversations. It's really cool. It's a great event, and it's my pleasure to be here. FedEx is pleased to be the title sponsor of the XCEL Summit for Men, and on behalf of over 500,000 team members around the world, I am proud to bring you greetings for this year's XCEL Summit for Men. FedEx has had a 20-year relationship with Black Enterprise and has been the title sponsor for this event for 9 years, as Butch mentioned. When we say XCEL, we're talking about more than a theme. Excellence is a mission, a call to action, and we each have roles to play in achieving this mission. The focus on excellence also aligns with our FedEx commitment to our employees, customers, and the communities we serve. And we are truly honored to consistently rank among Black Enterprise's best companies for diversity and Fortune's world's most admired companies. FedEx supports the National Urban League, the NAACP, UNCF, the National Civil Rights Museum, and several HBCUs. FedEx family, would you please stand? And I want to make a special shout out to two retired FedExers. The first, former Senior Vice President of HR and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and a 2023 XCEL Award winner, Mr. Shannon A. Brown. and retired Vice President of Operations Research and current interim president of Lane College, one of our HBCUs that we support, Mr. Donald Comer. All right, to the honorees. Tonight's honorees are nothing short of remarkable. We have a power-packed lineup tonight, guys, of honorees. You guys have seen the names. They are visionaries, thought leaders, change agents, barrier breakers, and bridge builders who've accomplished great things and remain mission-driven and community-focused while doing it. It is a privilege to share this night of recognition with such a distinguished slate of honorees. To the honorees, I speak for everyone here when I say, we salute you, not only for your accomplishments, but also for your servant leadership and the time, effort, and sacrifice you've made in delivering impact. To the attendees, as you chart your own path, I encourage you to reach beyond what you think is possible and simply lift as you climb. Thank you.
The XCEL Summit Awards honor men who embody the summit's mission, celebrating the best of who we are. These awards recognize exceptional trailblazers whose achievements in leadership and impact have opened doors for others and set new standards of excellence. And those we honor tonight represent greatness and serve as powerful examples of success and inspiration, especially for men and for all who strive to achieve more. And in keeping with the broad diversity of their achievements, our corporate partners should be saluted again: FedEx, JP Morgan, Manulife, John Hancock, Morgan Stanley, UHG, and Walmart. So once again, particularly in these perilous times, let us give them a round of applause for staying with us. Here to present our first award is the Division Director, Midwest Division Business Banking, JP Morgan. Please welcome Mikhail Quarles.
Okay, so the first thing I have to say is this is my first time here. And to be in a room with you brothers and ladies that are here has such palpable power that it will change lives just by your presence. And I thank you for everything that you all are doing. And I'm actually envious of not having been here before, because I considered what it would have done for me if I could have been in this room multiple times. But hey, I'm here now. Right? All right, so thank you, Ed, and good evening, everyone. That's what I was supposed to say, guys. All right, so I have the great honor of presenting the first award of the evening to a truly great man, George C. Fraser, a powerhouse. A powerhouse of purpose, an author, an educator, an orator, whose life work centers on building bridges of economic empowerment in global Black communities. As founder of FraserNet, Inc., he has spent nearly 4 decades advancing financial literacy and networking as tools of liberation, inspiring generations to own, to grow, and circulate wealth in our Black communities. Let's take a look.
All right. You want to do it again? You want to do it again? Huh? Yeah, let's go on now. We gotta take you high. Hey, brother. Yeah. Now I want everybody. Let's spread the floor about 2 chords.
I'm going to have to pause for a moment because I'm about to tear up. God has been good, and I've received a number of awards in my life, but this is extra special. And I blame 2 entities. I blame my wife. She has effectively utilized the KITA system of management in managing her husband. I don't know if you're familiar with the KITA, it's K-I-T-A, system of management, commonly known, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York. The KITA system of management is a kick in the ass, all right? 52 years strong with an awesome sister. Now, that doesn't fix you up as a man and get you going. I don't know what will. So I have her to blame for this incredible award. And I want to say the next thing with truth and graciousness, gratefulness. And I don't know if I've ever said this to Butch. I've said it to him in a number of different ways. I owe literally my career and all that I have done really to the Graves family, to the Graves family, beginning with Barbara Graves, Earl's late wife. It was Barbara Graves who called a very close friend of mine in Cleveland, Ohio, Miss Carol Hoover, who was head of the Cleveland Chamber of Commerce, and asked Carol if she knew of anybody who could chair an event on behalf of Black Enterprise. They were doing a 7-city tour, networking tour, and they needed somebody locally to sort of gather the troops together. I was recommended. And Barbara Graves took that back to her husband. And he said, yes, I know him. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Bed-Stuy. Let him do it. And I did. And it was a great, great success. And that was really the beginning of my relationship with a man that I had admired from afar. And has always had a goal to someday either I want to be like him or I want to meet him. Because I met him, I didn't really meet him, at 10 years old. No, Earl is 10 years older than me. He was 20. He lived around the corner from me. I'm playing in the streets of Brooklyn, New York, because that's where you play in New York, in the streets. And this gorgeous gentleman, and I'm cool, I'm straight, this gorgeous gentleman, clean as a hotel chitlin, with an attache case and sideburns, groomed to the nines, is walking down Reed Avenue to catch the A train, subway, and I just happened to be playing, and I saw him, and I stopped. I didn't go up to him. I was actually a little afraid, but his comportment registered in the subconscious part of my mind and helped change the trajectory of my life. Fast forward to 1992, 93, I wrote a book called Success Runs in Our Race, The Complete Guide to Effective Networking in the Black Community. And my publisher at the time, William Morrow, which is now HarperCollins, asked if I knew anybody famous in the culture. I said, I know Mr. Earl Graves. They said, because we would like to send him a copy of this book for his review and critique. So I called up Mr. Graves and I told him what was going to happen. He said, I'll be more than happy to review it. He reviewed it, got back to them a couple of weeks later. He got back to me. He said, this is awesome. It's classic. It is so good. We will make it the first book excerpt for Black Enterprise magazine. And because we're going to do that, George, we're going to put you on the cover of Black Enterprise. Well, that was a dream come true. That cover in combination with that book changed the entire trajectory of my life. There's a picture on my wall in my office you saw that I have had on, this is a copy of the picture I've had on my wall for 35 years. And this is a picture in the office of Black Enterprise magazine. There's Butch. There's Mr. Graves. There's the picture of the cover. And again, it really started the trajectory of my life. So I am deeply honored. This is, to me, when I look at the provenance of how all this happened, to receive this award from this family and this organization, and to celebrate the Graves family, Mr. Graves, all of his sons, and then Butch, who has carried the torch and has taken Black Enterprise to a whole nother level, which is exactly what his father would expect of him. I am moved by that, deeply moved. We still have a lot of work to do. Now, I'm 80 years old, okay? So I only have another 80 years. No, I'm just kidding. My point here is, and I'll use a saying from Buddha. When the Buddha was asked, what is the biggest mistake that humans make? The Buddha replied that the biggest mistake that humans make is to think they have time. Time is the only currency we spend where we do not know the balance. Use your time wisely. That's all I'm saying to you. Spend it wisely. I will tell anybody in a New York minute, do anything but don't waste my time. I will get more money, but I will not get any more time, and I don't know how much time I have, and I don't want to know. This incredible medallion represents to me, in the quiet of my own mind, that I have spent my time wisely. And as I said in the video, that answer actually came from a reporter who asked me after a speech I gave about 10 years ago, Dr. Fraser, what would you like on your tombstone? No one had ever asked me that question, and I was taken aback by that. I thought for a few seconds. I said, well, on a tombstone, at the top of the tombstone is the year you were born, a hyphen, and then the year you die. The hyphen represents your entire body of work. Under that is your name. And under my name, I only want 2 words. And I want the same 2 words for you. He mattered. That is the ultimate question for all of us. Do you matter? And to whom? And for what? This is precious time. Thank you for this extraordinary honor. I feel as a part of your family. You are the cause and the reason for the trajectory of my life. I'll close with this simple little nugget that I wrote in the room. Trade money for time, but not time for money. Why, Dr. Fraser? Because you're going to run out of time first. Use it wisely. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you to the Graves family and to Black Enterprise.
We're gonna have a good time.
A big congratulations to George, who I've known for many, many years. Now let us move on. Presenting our next honoree is the Senior Vice President of Supply Chain Operations for Walmart. Please welcome Tim Cooper.
Well, thank you, Ed. And good evening, everyone. Well, that was pretty good. I didn't have to do it twice. I appreciate that. It's my pleasure to present the XCEL Award to the Reverend Dr. W. Franklyn Richardson, a moral compass for the times. He's a pastor, an activist, and an advocate for those society often overlooks. As a senior pastor of Grace Baptist Church in Mount Vernon, New York, and chairman of both the Conference of National Black Churches and the National Action Network, he leads with courage and conviction, fighting relentlessly for justice, equality, and the dignity of every human being. Let's take a look. It is my esteemed pleasure to present the 2025 Black Enterprise XCEL Award to Reverend Dr. W. Franklyn Richardson.
Let me begin by thanking Black Enterprise for this very special honor. It goes further than my career because many things that were referenced here today, like Dr. Fraser, grounded in my relationship with Earl Graves Sr. I met him early on in my career, and we became as brothers. He was such an extraordinary individual, and he took me into areas that I'd never considered as a pastor. I found myself in corporate activities and engaging in economic venues and bringing economic empowerment to our community through the church. I had the great joy and privilege of being his pastor and that of Barbara's. They were family to us. We walked together with them. I'm so happy to have my wife here today who is with us because without her, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I want to thank her for his. I do not want to reflect on, you've seen it on the video, I just want to communicate my profound gratitude to Butch. I'm grateful for Butch because he and his family have continued this marvelous legacy. We need, in the Black community, we need people who go from generation to generation. It is not enough for us just simply to have a winning day in our individual lives. We must pass it on to the next generation. And Black Enterprise, the Earl Graves family, is a representation of legacy among Black people, making tomorrow greater because we are investing. We cannot get where we ought to be unless we make it transgenerational, unless our investments begin in this moment and go to our children and grandchildren. That is why we are behind. We've been ripped off for hundreds of years of our resources and our possibilities. And today we have the privilege of standing in the midst of a family who has carried on a legacy that lives in the hearts of many, and many of us in this room have been blessed because of the Graves family and Black Enterprise magazine. Thank you for letting me be here tonight.
All right, we are going to move on to our next honorees. All right, now to present our next honoree is the Senior Vice President of Supply Chain Operations. Oh no, that was Tim. I should probably read the prompter instead of my notes that I didn't turn over. Now, let's continue celebrating this year's XCEL Award honorees with the presentation of our next extraordinary gentleman. To introduce him, please welcome VP Regional Operations of FedEx, Patrick Elam.
Thank you, Ed. I am truly honored to present this next award to Mr. Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Larry Fitzgerald is more than a football legend. He's a leader whose legacy reaches far beyond the field. A Hall of Famer, investor, and humanitarian. He channels his drive into the Larry Fitzgerald Foundation, empowering youth and supporting families battling breast cancer. his playbook today, building community, equity, and opportunity with the same precision that once defined his game. Please take a look. And it gives me great privilege to present the 2025 Black Enterprise XCEL Award to Mr. Larry Fitzgerald Jr.
From the first two recipients, I'm the only one that doesn't have a doctorate, so I prepared some notes. I didn't want to come off the top. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here among so many unbelievably recognizable and distinguished guests. But first, I want to thank Mr. Graves. You know, I got a chance to meet him for the first time a few years ago at Black Corporate Directors, and he's a very generous man. I beat him down pretty good on the golf course that day. But you know, it started off really, really well, and I just want to thank him and the rest of his team for putting on such an amazing event. This is truly special to see so many people who are doing things in life that are truly worth recognizing. And to be able to stand here, I want to also recognize some of the other recipients. To be able to stand here, a man of this caliber, is truly humbling. Hearing your stories, learning about your journeys, and witnessing the heights that you guys have all reached, this recognition means the world to me. I also want to thank everybody in here, too. Thank you for choosing to invest your time, and more importantly, your resources to be a part of something that's much larger than yourselves. Thank you for committing your lives to purpose and integrity and impact. This award for me is humbling because it doesn't just simply recognize accomplishments or accolades. Tonight's about something that's greater than any one single person's achievements. It's about how we use our gifts that we are given to create ripples of change, to bring hope, to cast vision, and to inspire growth in the way we live and also the way others live. I've admired many successful men and women throughout the course of my life, but my heroes are those whose lives have reshaped my own. Not because of the wealth they have or the titles, but because of their character, their conviction, their example. Men like Butch Graves, men like Robert Smith, men like Troy Taylor, men like Dr. Fraser, men like Mr. Bryant, men like Reverend Richardson. You guys have shown me a better way by the way you live your lives. And you guys continue to show the rest of humanity what a good life looks like. So thank you for that example. Make no mistake, young Black men and women across this nation and around the world, they're searching for a better way. They're not just looking for success stories. They're looking for examples of courage, faith, and character. The good news, those qualities do not require exceptional talent. They do not depend on luck or circumstances. They're choices. Choices that every one of us can make. And when we make those choices, we light a path for others to follow. So tonight, I accept this honor as a call to continue to keep striving. You guys have set an amazing example for me tonight. A call to live up to the standard set by the extraordinary men in this room and the many who have come before us. So, Mr. Graves, I just want to thank you again for this tremendous honor. I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to continue to earn this, not just with my words, but with the way I live my life and the impact that I leave behind. Thank you again.
You know, Butch and I discuss each one of these over the years, and I keep saying that it's so important to make sure that we show these people who are being honored. I think about what we see in Larry, and I'm just getting to know Larry. We've been at a number of events and spend some time with one another just conversing, and I think when we think about the black athlete, we often think about and talk about those that blow through millions and millions of dollars and end up broke. But here is a man who I was asking him, and I've gotten to know Magic Johnson over the years, and I said to Magic once, Irv, if you would have ever believed, or would you have ever believed that your post-career could maybe eclipse your NBA career in terms of the greatness and all that you've been able to do? And he said, no, there's no way that I could have dreamt that. And we were just talking, and Larry was saying to me, whispering, he said, man, I got a lot to do after the two recipients prior to him came up. And I said, you on the road, bruh. You're on the road. So congratulations, man. Keep doing what you do.
I have the honor of presenting the XCEL Award, possibly to a man who needs no introduction, but deserves one all the same. Robert F. Smith is a global leader in business and philanthropy, someone who has redefined what it means to succeed in service of others. As the founder, chairman, and CEO of Vista Equity Partners, he oversees more than $100 billion in assets and a portfolio of high-performing, innovation-driven companies. Named one of Forbes' 100 greatest living business minds and recognized by Time for his groundbreaking philanthropy, Mr. Smith is more than a business leader. He is a symbol of possibility. He pairs innovation with impact, using his success to expand opportunity and hope for communities around the world. Through both his work and his giving, he reminds us that wealth, when guided by purpose, can move the world forward. Please direct your attention to the video screen. It's my great pleasure to present the 2025 Black Enterprise XCEL Award to the visionary leader and powerful force for good, Mr. Robert F. Smith.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Butch. And thank you to the Black Enterprise family for this wonderful award. And it's just an absolute pleasure to be here with all you beautiful brothers. We have a unique role to play in the future, just as we have played a unique and pivotal role in building this country. We now have the responsibility to enable our children to thrive in this next wave of economic activity, and you in this room will be at the heart of all of that. And it's essential that we take some lessons from the past of community, of connectivity, of engagement, enabling a rebuilding, in some cases, of trust, an extension of trust in the others, trust in each other, to know that without it, we will not be able to survive, and with it, we will thrive. I've learned, I guess, in my few years in business now, the importance of connectivity, the importance of media, the importance of ensuring that our children know that we exist and know that what we do is important in all aspects of our community lives. We all have a role to play. You know, Dr. King talked a lot about this beloved community. Well, we are the beloved community, where we each can provide specific activities to help each other, and we each have to ensure that we teach and train and enable our children to continue to thrive. Our economy is always shifting. There's always going to be challenges. There's challenges to us being here. There's challenges to the work that we do. There's challenges to the opportunities that we see. Every major business owner of color that I have ever met has expressed the challenges that they view as unique to them. And it may be unique to them, but every one of them has the same set of challenges. And those who have the grit, determination, and desire to work together, I see overcome those challenges. So I would just leave you with the following message beyond the gracious thanks that I want to extend to you all as a community, to Black Enterprise, for being there 25, 30, 35 years ago and yesterday and tomorrow. And all of that's important because my children, your children, need to know that we are enough. That we are enough to solve the community problems that we have. We are enough to create thriving businesses. We are enough to ensure our communities are safe, that our houses are beautiful, the neighborhoods we live in are ones that create value. We are enough to educate our children, to feed our children, enable them to be their best selves. And it's important that Black Enterprise continues to tell us and show us that we are enough. So I want to say thank you for this wonderful award, and I think we're going to enter into a conversation about the future. So thank you all again.
Now please welcome financial advisor for Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, Maran Yamani.
Good evening, and thank you, Ed. It is a privilege to present the next award. Dr. John Hope Bryant stands at the intersection of business, policy, and purpose. Dubbed the conscience of capitalism, he's the force behind Operation Hope, the nation's largest nonprofit for financial literacy. His influence reshaped federal policy under 2 presidents and revived the legacy of the Freedmen's Bank. Proof that his mission to build an inclusive economy is not just talk, but transformation in action. Please take a look. It is my honor to present the 2025 Black Enterprise XCEL Award to Dr. John Hope Bryant.
That was uncomfortable. I was telling Dr. George Fraser, I can't wait till this is over, the video. But I just talked to my mentor and hero, Ambassador Andrew Young, on the way in here, and was with him this morning in New York. I mean, now that's the Nelson Mandela of our time. By the way, I might be the sale list. This is heavy. This is not one of these jinky awards. This is a real one. Isn't God good? No. No. You got some folks in Washington trying to take you all the way out. And all they succeeded in doing is mobilizing, unifying Black America. When you're being run out of town, get in front of the crowd and make like a parade. The Bible suggests be hot or be cold. If you're lukewarm, I'll spat you out. Translation, even God is not like mediocrity. One more time, isn't God good? We're in the 3rd Reconstruction. It happened with the pandemic, 2020, George Floyd's murder. We'll talk about this more maybe tomorrow, but we're in the 3rd Reconstruction. The 1st Reconstruction was Frederick Douglass. He had something in common with your dad, Butch. He was a printer. People don't know that he was a businessman. They think he was an abolitionist. He was an abolitionist. But he also was free. He owned rental real estate in Baltimore, Maryland, rented out to working class Blacks, same business I'm in. He owned prime real estate just like your dad in Manhattan. So the leader of economic justice in the first Reconstruction was a printer and a real estate owner and a businessman who became the loudest, most recognized voice in that era, more popular than Lincoln. He had a bank called the Freedmen's Bank. We lead that into the second Reconstruction. Here comes Earl Butch Graves, Sr., 1970. Same platform, same profile, same vision, same genius. But Butch Graves Sr. had something that Frederick Douglass did not, an heir. Here comes the third Reconstruction. We've gone from freedom, first, access, second, opportunity and ownership, third. From the streets to the suites. Right now, we need a Black Wall Street Journal. Here comes the Sun and his team with a digital platform to layer on top of the print platform. When you're being run out of town, get in front of the crowd and make it like a parade. We've been doing so much with so little for so long, we can almost do anything with nothing. Over it, around it, through it, we're gonna get to it. This is our time, because rainbows only follow storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. It's a scientific fact. So when I got a call from Butch and his team, talking to Derek and all the heroes and sheroes in the office who've been doing this hard work, laboring in this vineyard, getting no credit for it, I knew this had to be God speaking. Because this is our time. This is the time. This country can't succeed without you. They just don't know it yet. And the town crier for this new movement is standing to my right. I'm honored to be here tonight.
Congratulations, John, and thank you, Murren. It is always a special honor to recognize those who reflect the vision and drive that my father poured into the creation of Black enterprise. So before I bring up or do the last award, I would like to bring up three other Graves men who are here. That is my brother John Graves, and my two sons, Earl Graves III, known as Gibby, and Theodore, to help me to give this award out. The Earl Graves Sr. Vanguard Award, our final honor of the evening, is named for my father, the legendary founder of Black enterprise. He launched the company in 1968 and published the first issue of Black Enterprise magazine in 1970, laying the foundation for a powerful movement around Black excellence and economic empowerment. When he passed on April 6, 2020, he left more than an entrepreneurial and media legacy. He left a mission. My father believed that Black men should be recognized not just for their talents on stages, screens, or fields, but for their leadership in boardrooms, businesses, and communities. He was a mentor, a sponsor, and a tireless advocate for opportunity and equity. That spirit continues to guide everything we do at Black Enterprise today. In his honor, we now share this special tribute. Please turn your attention to the screen.
He was a pioneer, a visionary, a change agent who enabled millions of African Americans across 50 years to become a part of the economic and business mainstream.
The whole premise of the magazine is to say to African Americans from the beginning, you too can have a piece of the economic action of this country, right? That the opportunities are there, whether or not you're talking about as a professional going into some line of work, as a person working in another corporation for somebody else, or putting the key in the door yourself every morning.
Black Enterprise was launched in August 1970. That was the very first issue of Black Enterprise. But the story of Black Enterprise launching in August 1970 grew out of something else. Out of tragedy sometimes comes triumph.
The tragedy was the assassination of presidential candidate Robert Kennedy, a time when trusted Kennedy aide Earl Graves Sr. suddenly found himself unemployed. It was the 1970s, and money was tight for most African Americans. They were hungry for a way to build wealth and power, and Graves was ambitious and gutsy enough to show them the way.
I think of the Earl Graves legacy as being one of an example of great business leadership. He had an idea that was really original, and he created something really special that continues today.
Black Enterprise chronicled the major achievements of and advocated for the elevation of Blacks in all aspects of the business arena, from Main Street to Wall Street, from the factory floor to the boardroom. The 35-year-old former Green Beret became known for his tenacity, never taking no for an answer, making the publication profitable by its 9th issue.
No one took lightly to a call from Earl Graves. I mean, that was one of those calls that you took immediately. He made the leaders of businesses, particularly in my case, consumer products businesses, aware of, sensitive to, and compassionate for the African American community.
That helped to create a multi-million-dollar empire. He was responsible for bringing African Americans together through an array of conferences, including the Women of Power Summit, the premier event for female professionals of color. Today, Black Enterprise is under the leadership of his son, CEO Earl Butch Graves Jr.
The most important lessons I learned from my father was that he never put his family second. Because in his mind, success without sharing it with his family would not be success at all.
Married nearly 52 years to wife Barbara, with 3 sons and 8 grandchildren, Earl Graves Sr. still made time to hold seats on the boards of major corporations. He also made time for ambitious executives hoping to climb the corporate ladder.
He said, "Young man, aim high because I'm going to see some of your senior people, and I'd like to see some people like you in the years to come." He also said, "If I can ever help you, give me a call." And then in classic Earl Graves style, he said, "And if you can ever help me sell some advertising, definitely give me a call."
A long-standing civil rights activist, he believed there could be no social justice without economic opportunity. His mission was to ensure that all Americans, including those of color, share in the American dream of equality and prosperity.
All of us are legacies of Mr. Graves, because without him, without the impact of Black Enterprise, there would be few opportunities for people like me. And so I am just reminded every day that we owe him a great deal of gratitude.
Each year, the Earl Graves Senior Vanguard Award honors a Black man whose accomplishments, influence, and leadership reflect the enduring legacy of my father and capture the very essence of what the XCEL Summit stands for. Here to make the presentation to Troy Taylor is the Director of Inclusion and Belonging for United Healthcare, Mr. Brandon Noddy.
Thank you, Butch. It is my honor to make this final presentation to such a remarkable man. Troy Taylor is the visionary founder, chairman, and CEO of Coca-Cola Beverages Florida, one of the largest family-owned Coca-Cola bottlers in the United States. Under his leadership, the company has grown into a $2 billion enterprise serving more than 21 million consumers across Florida. A former executive and with finance and private equity, Troy combined sharp business acumen with a deep commitment to community and diversity to create a company that not only drives economic growth, but also uplifts the people it serves. Through his leadership, Coca-Cola Beverages Florida has become a model of how innovation, integrity, and inclusion can fuel long-term success. Troy Taylor stands as a powerful example of what it means to lead with purpose, building a business that thrives financially while making a lasting impact on employees, communities, and future generational leaders. Please direct your attention to the video screen. I am pleased to present the 2025 Earl G. Graves Senior Vanguard Award to the Troy Taylor.
Make them rust like tin, they call me Jaws. My hat is like a shark's fin, because I'm bad as can be. Got my voice on wax, some brothers think he's making records, now he must have relaxed. I couldn't, shouldn't, and it'll stay that way. The best rapper you've heard is LL Cool J. Kamikaze, take a look at what I've done. Used to rock in my basement, now I'm number one. Ain't get out on time, never standing on line. You wanna try me? First you better learn how to rhyme. I'm the pinnacle, that means I reign supreme, and I'm notorious, I crush you like a jelly bean. I'm bad.
Brothers and sisters, thank you. Earl Butch Graves Jr. Thank you. Graves family, thank you. My wife, Vonda, son Joshua, daughter Erin, thank you. All my Coke Florida partners in growing a great business who are at these three tables here, thank you. I think the greatest thing you can do in a moment like this is say thank you. Thank you to the recipients that came on the stage before me. Thank you. You guys have paved a wonderful way for me and others like me. It's interesting, you just never know when you touch people and the connectivity that you have to people. Robert Smith will be honored tomorrow, next day? Friday. Connectivity, 1998, I'm on a flight to Oakland, California. Sitting next to me, I'm at J.P. Morgan, sitting next to me is Robert Smith. And we had a conversation about leaving Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan and being entrepreneurs, 1998. And I was going out to Oakland to celebrate a great honor of being part of that class for Ebony 30 Under 30. You know who else was in that class? Connectivity, Jamal Bryant, sitting right there. the connectivity that we have. I look at Grant Hill, who was honored 2020, 2021. We spent conference hours talking about creating a SPAC. Right after that, we acquired our John Deere dealers in 2020. I'm on the phone with none other than the great Larry Fitzgerald talking about business, connectivity. Connectivity that we often lose. Hadn't followed up with Larry. I apologize, you're a great man. We will follow up. We must keep that connectivity as brothers and sisters if we're actually going to win and win big. We can't lose it. We got to grow it. We got to make it special. While I'm moved about what we have accomplished at Cardinal, at Coke, Florida, one of the things that you did not see in that video when they interviewed me was I said, while we have $2 billion in revenues, I know cats on Wall Street that make $2 billion a year in pay. We have a long way to go. We can celebrate where we are, but we have a long way to go. But we can get there. One of the things we cannot do, because I'm listening to some of the things tonight where we say, oh, it's like now is the moment that we must come together and kind of pick up our arms and put on our shields and go to battle. That's always the case. We talk about what's happening in D.C. It doesn't matter what's happening in D.C. We stay on the battlefield. We keep our hand on the plow. We keep our hand on the axe. We chop wood. We do what we're supposed to do. Doesn't matter who's there. If you look at the statistics from housing to net worth to whatever it is, education in our neighborhoods, those statistics did not happen in 2025. They've been with us for a while. Our housing statistics, I think you and I talked about this, we're back to where we were the year I was born. I turned 55 on Sunday. The year 1970, the year that Great Black Enterprise was started, our housing ownership is still where it was in 1970, I believe. John Hope Bryant, am I right? So this didn't happen overnight. This has been going on. We should never take off our armor. We should never put down our arms. Doesn't matter who's in Washington, doesn't matter who's on Wall Street, doesn't matter what's going on, doesn't matter how many $2 billion businesses we celebrate. We never put it down. We must keep working hard. And most importantly, we must keep working hard together. The missing ingredient is the togetherness that we must have as a people to accomplish the great things that we know we can and should be accomplishing in this great country that we helped build through blood, sweat, and tears. This is our country. Don't forget that. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. This is our country. The first thing that this country did from an export standpoint was agriculture. That's us. Built Washington, D.C., built the South, built a whole lot of things. That's what we must celebrate. As we go into next year, we celebrate America 250. The Coca-Cola system is one of the largest sponsors of America 250. And sometimes there's whispers about, well, because I've heard it, well, how will Black America celebrate America 250? And I'll say this, I think we should do an awesome job celebrating America 250, because America wouldn't be America without us. And more importantly, America will not be America. America will not be great without us. We are part of the fabric, an important part of the fabric of America. You must always understand this. This is not about Coca-Cola, John Deere, or none of that stuff. This is about us. And we always must remember that. America will not be America without us. So I pray and I challenge each and every one of us in here. Let's grow closer. Let's continue to grow stronger. No matter what happens, let's never put down our armor. Because I'll be honest, people know that I say it straight. Did we put down our armor when Democrats were in the White House? Probably. Or at least we got a little relaxed because we think it's okay. We think it's going to be all right. No. No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the political winds. We must do what we must do. It doesn't matter. This is nothing new for us. We know how to do this. We know how to win. We know how to survive. And most importantly, we know how to thrive. Butch, I'm honored by this. As I told you when you called me on this, I know two brothers are going to be on Mount Rushmore for black business. Your father, and who's that other brother with the cigar on his mouth? Reginald Lewis is going to be up there. I think Robert Smith is about to punch his ticket too. But I'm honored to get this award with your father's name on it, a great pioneer. I remember always picking up Black Enterprise magazine, and I never knew picking up a Black Enterprise magazine that I would be on the B100. And the reason I never knew it, because I couldn't even dream that big. Young brother in Lafayette, Louisiana, I couldn't dream that big. Who knew? But I'm honored, and I thank you, and I thank you and your family. I thank each and every one of you, because there's so many people in here that I guarantee you don't know that you've touched me in some way. Let's keep touching one another. I love all of you. I really do. Thank you.
What we just heard from Troy is important because he talked about connectivity. And I will say, other than Troy, who I don't really know, but I feel like I do because I drink enough Coca-Cola, man, that, you know, we should be tight. But we're going to correct that before the weekend is over, man. And let me say to our honorees, to John, who I call often and get some advice, and John will tell it to you straight. One day he was giving me some advice, and I was kind of hemming and hawing. He goes, Negro, I don't tell you how to do TV. Please don't tell me how to make money. And I had to be put in my place. And but if you follow him online, he gives it to us straight. He gives us great advice, and he's always looking out for the greater good of the community. And George Fraser, who has really been beating the drum for many, many decades and been giving us the road to go. And at 80, still looking as dapper as ever, we salute you. Reverend Richardson, who I will say I have known for many years, and I will say this, often there are civil rights leaders who show up for press conferences. But Rev has been out there beating the drum, and often during the press conferences, he will stand in the back and defer to others when many of us know you were the one causing the trouble, making it right, doing the dirty work. And, you know, we salute and applaud you for that, Rev. And to Larry Fitzgerald, who I told you, I'm just getting to know him, but I told him today, and we've seen each other at a couple of events, but I told him today I'm so very proud of the way he is conducting himself and what he's done. And, you know, those of us who didn't make it to the pros, you always feel like, you know, when you meet him, like, I could take him, you know, I could cover him. And then he turned his back to me as we were eating, and I was like, look at that Negro's back. It's about, I was like, no, I can't cover him, man. But we salute all of you, and one more round of applause for all of the honorees. Thank you. Good night.
God was really, I always used to pray. My prayer was I asked God not to let the devil kill me out here while I was in the streets before I could get back. But I said, if you give me one more chance,